Becoming her. Becoming her.
Becoming her.
Becoming her.
Becoming her. Becoming her.
I wanna end me. I wanna end me. Don't wanna say goodbye to the day that I die, to the longest my life, till the day I die.
Over the last 3 years, I've gained over 30 million followers and made over $20 million. And yeah, mostly through OnlyFans. But today, I quit. But the reason probably isn't what you think. So before we get into that, let me tell you how it all started. Having immigrant parents, nonetheless being the firstborn in the United States, adds a lot of pressure. I think people have this image that I grew up with the silver spoon and I grew up extremely wealthy. It's actually the exact opposite. My parents used to share a 1-bedroom apartment with 4 people and work their asses off. You know, they came to United States to follow the American dream. And when they had me, they saw that as an opportunity. Oh my God, I get to send, my daughter to college. That was one of their biggest dreams for me, college. So I did it. Specifically, went to ECU.
Growing up, she always talking about being a doctor, and she got accepted to ECU. Well, man, it was a huge thing for us. I didn't have the opportunity to go to college. Not even my wife, she was gonna be the first one in college. And I remember driving to ECU, to drop her at the dorm. And it was, for me, start of the dream that I visioned for her. She's gonna be a doctor. And for me and my wife was like, I made it. Like, through her, I made it, And
I was just a regular college girl. A girl living in a dorm, waking up, going to classes, and partying. But there was something in me that wanted more. So I got a job at the local bar to be able to afford to go out to eat with my friends every once in a while. And then my parents couldn't afford a spring break trip, so I got another job to pay for that. And then I slowly realized the freedom I was starting to have, so I started chasing that. And eventually, every time they called me, the conversation was never about school. It wasn't about what I was learning or what I was eager to start learning. It was how much money I made on a shift or something that happened at work. Eventually, school just was on the back burner. Through one of the jobs I had, I ended up having the opportunity to meet someone that worked for Mr. Beast, and in turn allowed me to have the opportunity to work around Mr. Beast and his crew. I became really good friends with Carl, Nolan, Tariq, and when they would film videos, specifically the Squid Game video, they just called me up and they were like, hey, do you want to come and film this video tomorrow? I was like, yeah, let's do it. I showed up the next day and it just felt like I was filming with my friends. I didn't really think anything of it. But when that video released, it was insane.
The player 067 is getting everyone's attention.
67 and Mr. Beast Squid Game.
That's right, we found 067 on Instagram.
I was very quickly watching my best friend go viral, and it was really rewarding to watch someone work for something and want something so badly. It was just really impactful.
You may think that that's why I got to where I am today. But in reality, that's one of the worst things that can happen to someone. For them to feel and taste what it's like to have that virality, okay? Like, people had no idea what my name was. They only knew me as 067. So I chased that. I chased the virality, I chased the fame, I chased that feeling again. So I decided to drop out.
she was in college, but her mind wasn't there, She was so focused in making money, And even though she didn't finish college, for me, my dream was right there, and sorry.
I needed to do it. I needed to leave. My heart wasn't in college. I had I do and still have such a passion for content creating. Like, that high was something that it did change my life in a sense of how I thought. I started, taking TikTok more seriously, or what I thought was seriously. Started doing YouTube videos. I started dragging literally anybody from my friend group to be a part of videos. Okay, I asked for a camera setup for Christmas. I literally did everything down to writing a reality TV show. It felt like I was throwing darts in an empty fucking room, and I was just trying to see if anything would stick. Literally anything. And meanwhile, while all this was happening, the people around me began to get so concerned and worried about me, right? Because I didn't fit their mold of what they wanted for me. The college, the degree, the graduating and then getting a job and becoming financially stable. That was success in their mind, But that, to me, was a prison. I knew I couldn't live like that, so I continued to try. I tried content over and over and over again to a point where when nothing was working, so I felt I was going insane. And then through that, no one else around me could help me. I was completely helpless. It got to a point where I couldn't get up out of bed. I wasn't eating. I stopped talking to people. Even when I would leave the house and try to go see my friends, I would just end up in their bed sobbing uncontrollably, asking them for validation of, do you think I'm gonna be okay? Do you think I'm gonna be successful? Like, do you believe in me? It was genuinely one of the worst times of my life.
Can you imagine how you feel like when you think that something's gonna happen, something's gonna really go happen, and then they take away from you?
We just felt helpless in that moment, just watching her lay there in bed for days and days and knowing that there was nothing that we could do in that moment. It's just really hard to watch your best friend go through something like that.
Then I start to see my daughter getting depressed and not want to get out of the bed, You can't do anything, All I could do is be there for her,
But the one thing that kept replaying in the back of my head and things that I would constantly see was, when is the link gonna drop? When is the link gonna drop? When is the link gonna drop? So I moved out of my hometown and I started an OnlyFans. And I promised myself that I was going to learn every single thing I could about it and be the damn best at it. And even then, the golden ticket that everyone assumes makes you a millionaire overnight, surprise, surprise, it didn't work. It wasn't some magic thing that just instantly made me money. So I had to get a second job, and that job was in nightlife. And through nightlife, I found my third job, which was a corporate job. Okay, so there was a time in my life where I was working on a Friday from 7 a.m. to 4 a.m. just to wake up the next day and have to do it all over again. Until I ended up losing that job. I was sitting at my desk and my boss had just learned that I had an OnlyFans, so I think he felt entitled and he came into my office and he told me exactly what he wanted to do to me. It was that exact moment I realized I needed a change and I needed to focus on what really mattered. I was spread too thin. I was doing any and everything to make an extra dollar. I wasn't the best at anything. So I knew I had to pick one thing to be good at. And it was right in front of me the entire time. And that was content creation. Nothing matters. OnlyFans, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, none of it is valuable or matters if you're not getting views. So I knew I needed to master the skill of how to get the views. Because if you have the views, I knew it would turn into money. I just needed people at the time to know I had an OnlyFans. Because the reality of the situation was, no one knew because I wasn't getting views. I was studying videos, I was posting consistently, I doubled down. And when I realized that more views equals more money, it was fucking game over. I was unstoppable.
I saw her at her lowest, when she bounced back, that I did get a little emotional at that time. So it's kind of hard for me to admit that. I'm very proud of Camilla. I really am. And that's coming from a brother who likes to make fun of her. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of you, Camilla.
When we were in Brazil, we were very scared to go to expensive restaurants. It's crazy to talk about. I got emotional because I didn't know how to present myself. I didn't know how to act. So we were always going to fast foods and everything. And one thing that she did for us, she gave us confidence. I'm very confident right now. I can step in any environment like I belong. That's what she did for us. No, I belong anywhere. I'm not scared of any shit anymore. Now I see my daughter living in a $6 million house. Jesus. And I'm able to help my parents. You know, my brothers, they don't have this that I have, but I'm grateful that I can help because she's doing it for us, and I can do it for somebody else too.
Me as her mom, I am more than proud of her, what she became and what she will become. Because this, I think, for her, this is just the beginning.
My life today is so surreal to think about. And I often do think about that girl in the beginning and how worried she was and how stressed she was and how badly she wanted it. I think about her all the time and how proud I am of her. But if she could see everything that I've accomplished today, from an amazing relationship with my partner, from an amazing group of supporting friends, and most of all, the relationship I've built with my parents and retiring them. They are immigrants who came to seek out a better life for their children, and they struggled so much. She would be so proud of seeing how they're living today. So thank you, Mom and Dad. I'm not special. I wasn't born with some superpower, okay? You can do this too. Throughout the last 2 years, I realized that views equal money, okay? I had to teach myself the mindset to get the views. And then I had to perfect the strategies to get the views. And then on top of that, I had to learn how to get those views to turn into money, okay? The hardest part was for the last 2 years, I was alone. Okay, figuring it out, going day by day, making progress little by little. And that's the exact reason I started becoming her. This is perfect for the girls that want to be content creators, or girls that have an existing business but just want to level it up, or even people who want to be behind the scenes and still make money. Spots are limited, so fill out the application and I will be personally reviewing them. If you want to be one of the ones that gets to work with me directly, click the link, fill out the application. And thank you so much for watching my story on Becoming Her.